This is bid number 31112. We talked about a good bit Tuesday night for the maintenance of stormwater retention ponds and some canals. We've added some areas this year from what we did last year. Miss Emily Davenport sent you all some more information, some maps on there, as well as my VSEB information. We actually sent it out to five VSEBs, and that's to small emerging businesses. We had 3 respond. One of them will be recommended for award tonight for like 60% of the contract. With that being said, I'd like to recommend the following: that Grace Lawn Care be awarded Cluster 2, Canal 1, 2A, 2B, 4B, 4C, 5 in the amount of $69,500. Recommend that Ultimate Underground be awarded Cluster 1 and 5, Canal 3 and 4A in the amount of $26,280. And recommend that First Choice Lawn Care be awarded Cluster 3 and 4 in the amount of $10,500. And I attached a spreadsheet with all the bid tabulations there. And again, we have verified with the recommended vendors that they're good with their prices as compared to the other companies. And so we had a pretty good meeting where questions were asked and answered, and everything seems good and we're ready to go.
A pretty good tour.
Yes, sir. This will begin January 1st.
I think that's good that we had 3 VSEB participants.
Yes, sir. We really worked that to try to get them involved in this stuff. So that's why we broke it up into smaller sections.
Right.
And increased it to 5 clusters this time.
Councilman Mayor, you and Councilman Wright were not here Tuesday, but we did talk about it, and I think it's worth mentioning again that we did this 3 years ago as just retention ponds, and it was one lump sum bid, which might limit just due to the size and the equipment. And the city, showing good faith, broke this up into multiple clusters, and we added also not just some retention ponds, but some of the canals. So this is going to improve service and the appearance of the community, but more importantly, it gave small contractors and VSEB contractors a chance to compete, and obviously it worked. It was successful, and we're pleased with the outcomes. While that may represent a little bit more work for Emily and Pat to manage 5 contractors rather than 1, we're committed to this effort, this program, and we're pleased with the result.
You know, that with these being small contractors, will we make some special provisions and them considering that last year they receiving the check, and we're going to do it once a month back?
What we do is we typically will take their total price and divide it by 12. When they complete the work, they'll have a sheet that they'll sign off on that they completed the work at this time, and we'll pay them once a month. Yeah, because they're to cut it once a month, and after that service work has been done, then we typically cut them a check at the end of the month there.
So I know that sometimes that small business cash flow is very, very important.
That was all listed in the bid document that went out, so again, they all signed off on that. That was very specific.
The majority of this type of work is labor. There's not a lot of things to buy on the front end, so we'll be very judicious in making sure we get people paid time.
Yeah, I think that's important as a small business. Any other questions?
Your recommendation is the choice one.
Yes, sir. Just like they were listed there. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
there's several recommendations. I think the motion would be good just to adopt the recommendation of the person.
Yes, sir.
It's I was out this Tuesday and I got a chance to review where I live, and there was a couple of spots on where my area that a lot of calls about. One being
Let me get Emily up here. She's the one that can address that.
Well, let me say that, Councilman Wright, we talked about that Tuesday. We're not outsourcing all of the work. We've outsourced all of our retention ponds, and now we're adding some of the canals. What this does is actually act as a force multiplier. It will actually then allow Emily to use her resources more to take care of the rest of the work. So this is about, what, maybe 20% of the canal work, or not even 20%?
It's actually less. I misspoke on Tuesday. I said it was about 10,000 linear feet now. It's actually about 18,000, which is just under 10% of our total.
So what we'll do is give her more of her resources to apply to do a better job of the rest of the work in the city. So it does not mean that any canals you have an interest in or complaints with won't be addressed. This will actually help us do a better job of everything by outsourcing some of the work.
You say, and I appreciate that, but if it's not on that list, it will not be a part of this.
It will not be part of the contract for the private contractor to maintain. It will be maintained by the city with its resources, which about 90% of them will be still. So, and if this is successful, we can continue to add more going forward, but there is a limit as to how much, we can afford to outsource. It's based upon the revenues that we collect for this service.
This actually took about everything she had in the budget for
Yeah.
us, so we.
Yeah, she actually, this bid came in a little more than what she had in her budget. And I also want to mention, Emily covered this Tuesday night. Prior to this, we used to have a prison detail, and we were just having ongoing problems with that. And the ward at the prison was as well, having people that he could release, so we weren't getting a lot of service for that. We converted that effective July 1 into 5 positions. So she actually had, and now we have 5 people working 5 days a week, working the same schedule as her other staff. So that's giving her more staff now. Whereas the prison detail might have 2, they couldn't work in holidays, training, etc. The guard couldn't work in inclement weather, couldn't work in lockdown, so we weren't getting a lot of what we were paying. And so we actually have the equivalent of really 3 or 4 more people working in our department now on our own by changing how we were spending those funds. So things are getting better.
And I understand, I can appreciate that, but I just appreciate when people call me, we can tell something that, in terms of making something on one being right there, call the bar, and the other being the bank circle. Both these have been ongoing problems since I got on council, 7 years. I continue to call about these spots. They were not on the list, but I work with contractors to go forward.
Thank you all. Is there any other questions for staff? I would recommend a motion to approve.
Recommended by the purchasing agent.
Recommended by the president.
So, I was taking, go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the request that.
Second.
They were motion to second.
You really relinquished that motion? He said so moved.
It's already being popular.
So there's a motion in second to approve the request and recommending from the president agent, those in favor, ready to show by showing your right hand, please raise your right hand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now,